Well, hello, Dave here. Welcome back to the channel. Nice to see you. Hope you're all well on this horrible rainy weekend. One of the biggest questions we get asked all the time on the various different groups and forums and even face to face is, what do you do about internet in your van? Do you tether to your phone? Do you get a MiFi? Do you get a cellular router? What do you do? Well, it's one of the questions that I want to try and answer, and I want to do that by using this to tell you about it. And this, it's the ZTE MU5120, which they have sent me for the purposes of doing a review. So I haven't paid for it. Right up front, I'm going to tell you how much it is. It's £299. And if you want the one that professes to be the market leader is nearly £900, £899. So this is a third of the price. Let me just show you around it quickly. You can see there's a screen here. We'll not be doing anything with that just for the second. But on this side, we have where your SIM card goes, just in there. Dead easy, shows you which way to go as well. And there's a reset button there. And alongside it, we've got a USB-C, that's where you power it up and charge it up. And then on the bottom, given that you can do that, you can see here there's an ordinary USB-A out, and it also tells you on the bottom that it's the 1000 milliamp hour quick charge battery, and it will output up to 12 volts, this will, at 1.5 amps. So if you need to use it to power something, you can. And then on this side you get the power switch. Now on the back, when you get it, will be a piece of paper, which this one's fallen off, and it'll give you all of the information you need to log into the system, as it were. Now let's switch it on. And there you can see the startup screen. Now what it's doing at the moment is just getting the cellular connection made, and so on and so on and so forth. Now I will point out for the moment that where we are, we're indoors, because outside is pittling down, and all you would hear would be the tip tip tap of raindrops on the top of the pergola, which is probably not a good idea. So I'll be absolutely honest and tell you that I did the speed test outside, because when you're in the van you're effectively outside, you're not in a house, because the speed testing here won't be as good. But as I can see now, it's on and it's working. So rather than run through everything on this little screen, which will be practically impossible for you to see and practically impossible for Jill to film, what I'm going to do is to start up the iPad and log it all on. So let's do that. And here is my iPad booted up, oh, with a message from Beverly Miles. So I go to settings and I go to find the Wi-Fi I'm looking for. In this case it's DD5GA. Obviously I've already logged onto it, so you were not going to say any passwords or anything like that. So now we can go into the router interface, and this is on. I've logged out of my account, have I? I've got to log back in. Okay. So here we go, we'll log back in, and again I've saved the password for that. The password comes on that bit of paper that would have been on the back if I hadn't managed to pull it off, which I've done. Now this is probably the best place to sort everything out, and you'll see it'll show you what's accessing it. If you want to get to all of that, you can do that. You can look at the router, and we've got 5G on. Connection mode is automatic, and you can only change this when the modem's disconnected, so that's all fine. I don't want manual connection. Network selection, I want 5G, 4G, 3G. Again, that's so that it'll get a signal no matter what, almost. And then the APN is specific to EE. If you are using another provider like Vodafone, like O2, like 3, then you'll be able to get the APN. That's all there, and you can set it all up to do all of that. So let's go back and have a look at the Wi-Fi settings. Now You can enable or disable Wi-Fi. Why you would want to disable it, I don't know, but you could. You got the option for single SSID, which is what we use, so that DD5G-A is both 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz, so everything can find it. It's fine. You've got all the settings that you want there. You can have a guest SSID. You've got WPS, so that all works as well, which means that you can just connect things up by pressing buttons. So that's all good. If you go to data usage, you can set your data usage up for how much data you've got, what your data plan is, all of that kind of stuff, and it'll ping you a message when it gets to 80% of what your allowance is, so that you know, I might need to stop using it. As you can see, because it's been so horrible the last few days, we haven't used any data because we haven't been anywhere. In advanced settings, you've got power saving, you've got how the router works, you've got how the firewall works. You can update it and it'll auto check that if you want it to do, and there's all kinds of other bits and bobs you can do, pin management, fast boot, low current mode, all of that kind of stuff. There's barrel loads you can play with, and it makes it very, very easy to use. But let's go and have a look at the speed check, shall we, and see how it runs. Right, so let's do a speed test, shall we, and see how this works. The last test I did came up with 83 and 11, as you can see. Let's retest it now in real life time, as it were, and here we go. It is connecting, and we have, look at that, 81, 82. This is 5G. We don't normally get 5G or that, or we haven't been getting 5G. Now we do. All right, outside, inside's terrible. But what are we looking at here? On a horrible, nasty, rainy day, 71.67 down, and upload nowhere near as fast, to be honest. But it's working. It's giving us upload, and for the majority of people, upload's what you want. Download's probably not what you're looking for. No, download is what you want, upload is not what you're looking for. But there you go, 71, 9.23. That's all right, really. So there you have it, 71.67 down, 9.23 up. For whatever reason, I don't understand. The EE upload speed is it just never seems to be as high as you think it's going to be, but it's probably still as good as you're going to get in your home network. So, right, let's part with the iPad for the moment because I don't think we need it. Let's look round this thing again and let me give you a few thoughts on it. As you know, for a donkey's age, nearly a year, we've used the ZTE MU5001 in Vandromeda, and that's been connected up to a set of aerials on the roof that was already in the van, and they were 5G ready. And a lot of people will be saying, well, 5G, what do you want 5G for? There's no 5G anywhere. That's not true. We went away, as well you know, to Winchcombe, and from Winchcombe we went across to New Lodge Farm, and from New Lodge Farm we went up to, we went up to Waleswood. And at Waleswood and at Winchcombe we had 5G, and we were getting damn good speeds, thank you very much. To be fair, if we'd been 3 pitches over at Waleswood, we wouldn't have had any 5G, and if we'd been, I'm going to say 10 pitches over, the 5G that we had at Winchcombe would not have been as fast. Where we were, it was blistering, well over 100 in both places, and upload speeds were in the 40s and 50s. It was absolutely fabulous. So yes, 5G is becoming available in more and more places as time goes on, and in fact the rollout, certainly with EE, has been blisteringly fast, and I'm very pleased by that. So it is worthwhile doing. However, we've had the opportunity for having both the MU5001 and the new MU5120 to be able to compare and contrast, and this is where I get very, very confused. Because with this baby, there have been times when it has outperformed the one with the aerials. And there's been times when the one with the aerials has outperformed this, and it seems to be that it's where you are. So in some cases this has performed better, in other cases it's performed less well, and it's really difficult to work it all out. However, what I will say is this: when other people have been struggling to get decent 4G speeds, and with this little beastie I was getting 110 down. Now that's Vodafone versus EE, but this is, I think this is a godsend, I've got to be honest. One of the great things about it, because it's got no external aerials on, because it'll run for 16 hours on that 1000 milliamp hour battery, you can pocket it, you can go wandering off and do whatever you want to do. You can go to somebody else's van and give them access to your network, to your cellular, if you want to do that, if you've got unlimited, if you're a nice guy, like what I are. It'll do the job really well. It's not the latest of things, it's probably heavier than your phone. Well, it is, it's definitely going to be heavier than your phone, unless you're still walking around with a Motorola brick. But what I've done is I've got this now hosting all of the EcoFlow battery stuff that we've got, so that I can get to the EcoFlow stuff. It doesn't matter where we are, I can be away in the car and still be able to get to it, because it's all connected up via this. And thus far we've not lost connection. So let me say again, it has been sent for the purposes of a review, which means there is a question that you need to ask of me, and you need to ask of everybody. If they didn't send you it for nothing, would you buy it? Well, the answer to that is yes, I would. If it was my first, I definitely would, because 300 quid versus whatever it is you're going to pay for some of the other makes for 5G, yeah, I'd have it every time. Would I have it over the top of the MU5001? That's a slightly different question, because we haven't been disappointed by the 5001, and the external aerials are a benefit, I have to say. So that would be a toss-up, except this comes in cheaper, I think, than the 5001 or its successor. I think there's a 5002. But with that said, it does mean that I can take this beastie wherever I go and know if there's 5G available, I'm going to get 5G out onto my iPad, out onto my laptop, out onto just about everything. I do honestly think it's good value for money, and teamed up with a prepaid 18 to 24 month SIM from the likes of EE, where you're paying around about 11 quid a month for unlimited if you buy one of those, it makes for very, very cheap, very, very fast access. So yes, I do like it. There is a link to it in the description down below should you feel like purchasing. It's available on Amazon, and they do have a UK office, and they do have a UK phone number, so if you need support you can find them there as well. It's all pretty damn good. There you go. Look, it's a very quick overview. Basically I like it. Do we do stars out of 10? If we were going to do stars out of 10, I'm going to give it an 8, because it does need the aerials. Having said that, I've not found anything it won't connect to, and it's simplistic. It's very, very easy to use. You don't need to get techie with it or anything like that. In fact, you can take it out the box, put the SIM in, and everything you need's already there, with good quality passwords and so on and so on and so forth. Dead easy to use. Right, that's it. That's enough. I've done my bit. 299 quid's worth of 5G. So I'm going to bid you farewell, but before I do, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, if you have been, which you must have been if you've got this far. And until we see you next time, enjoy the roads, enjoy the skies, but most of all, enjoy your lives, because life rocks when your living room rules. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.